What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Soul Toucha the Poet back again with another episode, Trek Through Poetry. Um, again, I'm bringing up pieces that I've written that have been published somewhere or posted somewhere, maybe not, maybe in my big book, wait a minute. The big book. Um, Maybe they're in one of my published books, or maybe they're in my Google Drive or in one of the many notebooks that I have laying around. I have a lot of notebooks laying around. I'll probably grab them out in the next episode. But yeah, like I say, like, subscribe, comment, share, hit that bell notification so that you can get notified whenever I drop a new video. Um, that helps the channel. That lets me know that somebody's out there listening. But yeah, we're going to keep it moving. Like I said, also make sure you check out Trek Through Poetry podcast, which will be available on all podcast platforms. I will also have video podcasts on Spotify for that. Don't know exactly how I'm going to navigate that as far as moving forward. Once I start getting a few more episodes under my belt, I don't know if I'm going to switch to a different podcast host or whatever the case may be. Yeah, because I'm doing a lot here. I'm really doing a lot here. Still rocking with the King and I Life podcast. That's still going. So yeah, I got a lot going on. So we'll see what's going on here. So, but you know what to do. All right, so check it out. This piece right here is called Hate. I wrote this, I want to say 2021. I wrote this last summer. So let me put it this way. I have been sexually abused as a child, and I've put this out numerous platforms, numerous occasions. I've written many pieces about it. Um, the one thing that I can say is if you've ever been in a situation like that, that is something that never ever goes away. You know, you can suppress it, you can block it out, whatever the case may be, but it always, not always, it will um, represent itself in many ways. So for me, this is a piece that I just out the blue just wrote because, I still get triggered. I don't get triggered in a manner in which I'm gonna do harmful things to me or anybody else. Let's get that clear. I'm not there. I'm over the situation as far as its immediate effects, but residually it's still in my mind. It's still it still has it still doesn't sit right with me. So this is one of the many pieces that I wrote talking about that. It's not a long piece. I think I had started it again with many of my pieces. I started it, got sidetracked, went away from it, came back to it, and just lost that whole vibe of it. But again, this is like my therapy, so I got that off my chest and moved on. But again, yeah, this is one of those things that I've experienced throughout life. And I have several more pieces on this, so you'll probably catch a few more here and there throughout this podcast. Throughout this journey, and maybe on the podcast as well. So check it out. Hate. They say hate is a strong word, but I don't. They say hate is a strong word, but don't get it twisted. I'm conflicted in bearing my truth, but I need you to bear witness.
There's still a crying boy inside of this grown man. I hate beets and green eggs and ham. I hate mushrooms and the high sodium content of spam. I used to hate Brussels sprouts, but now I can bear them. I told this story before of how I was touched as a youth. To this day, I still try to shed that deep-seated hate that I hold on to. He said, "You better not make any noise." She said, "If you don't do it good enough, I'll tell." I hate them so much that my subconscious still loves to see them rot in hell. In those stolen moments, my shirt stains. I still try to define the difference between confusion and dichotomy. There's a euphemism I can't shake called emotional sodomy. I hate you deeper than the depths of the seven seas. I vehemently hate you, my mirror reflection says to me. Ignorance is the symbolic comorbidity of hate. I have no conception of heaven as long as I'm in hell.
So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was hate. Again, that's something that I experienced as a child. Um, I wish that on no one. Um, it didn't go into much detail. It's more like one of those situations to where, you remember something that occurred in your life, good, bad, or indifferent, and the thought flashes across your mind or whatever, and you just react to it in some kind of way. So that's what this piece was about. Um, you know, it was me more so speaking to those individuals who did those acts to me. And, you know, one that I know has passed away, um, others are around, but that was speaking to them. Um, that was my way of speaking to them. At this point in my life, I don't feel necessary to directly in person address any of these people because, you know, it for me it happened way back when, and I'm for the most part healed of that. But I know other people deal with that in different ways. Um, my hope is that me sharing this helps other people find an easier way to express these feelings and thoughts about those bad occurrences, and that they find the strength within themselves to bring them through it, and able to live their lives without it causing such a negative effect. Um, if you are in a space to where you can safely or conducively confront these individuals, if that is your thing, then that's your thing. If not, then it's not your thing. Hopefully, there was someone out there who you felt comfortable telling that happened, and they stood by you every step of the way. But there's far too many people out there, especially men, young kids out there who experience this, and they don't have an outlet, and sometimes they take a turn for, I don't want to say for the worse, but they're not the same as they move throughout their lives. Some of them take the drugs, take the alcohol, take the suicide, reckless behavior, this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, there is help out there for anyone who experiences something like this. So don't feel like you're alone. I do know that when stuff like this does happen, you feel like you're alone. You feel like you're the only one this happens to, and why me? And you blame yourself, and you know tell somebody they don't believe you, and that's also harmful to your mind, your heart, and your soul. So um, yeah, just if you are a victim of something like this, speak out. Speak out. Don't bite your tongue. Don't be afraid to let someone know um, that that's happened to you or happening to you. Um, to scream until somebody pays you attention. That's all I got. Soul Touch the Poet. Make sure you tune in. Keep tuning in to the Trek Through Poetry on YouTube. And again, check out the podcast. Trek the Poetry Podcast on all podcast platforms. Like, subscribe, comment, share, hit the bell notification, all that good stuff. So touch of the poet, and I'll catch you in the next one.